Good morning, ma'am. This is Sirisha Chalva, MSc Nursing first year student. Today, I am going to discuss about hormonal cycles. Hormonal cycle. Monthly psychological changes takes place in the ovaries and the uterus, regulated by hormones produced by the hypothalamus and anterior pituitary gland and ovaries. These monthly cycles commence at puberty and occur simultaneously, and together are known as the female reproductive system. Introduction. The fertile period of a female extends from the age of puberty 11 to 14 years to the age of menopause 40 to 45 years. A fertile female exhibits two periodic cycles, the ovarian cycle, which occurs in the cortex of the ovary, and the second one is the menstrual cycle that happens in the endometrium of the uterus. The phases of the menstrual cycle are under the control of the hormones secreted during the different phases of the ovarian cycle. Next, we see the outline of the female reproductive system. Ovaries. Each ovary lies at the side wall of the pelvis, hanging by a meso-ovarium from the posterior aspect of the broad ligament close to the uterine fallopian tube. It has the shape and size of an almond and is almost half the size of the testis. These two are the ovaries. Fallopian tubes. Each tube measures about 10 centimeters long. Each opens medially into the uterine cavity and laterally into the peritoneal cavity. The uterine tube is lined with ciliated columnar epithelium and is formed of four parts. Its infundibulum. Its infundibulum has a mouth opening guarded by fimbriae, which the ovarian fimbriae is the longest as it adheres to the ovary. The ampulla is a wide part with a thin wall. The isthmus is a narrow part with a thick wall, and the interstitial intramural part lies inside the wall of the uterus. This is about fallopian tube. Next, uterus. It has the shape of a flattened pear in nullifera, where it measures 3 to 1 inches. Fundus, body, and the isthmus. It is formed of three parts. The fundus. This is the fundus. The fundus is the part bulging above the attachments of the uterine tubes. Its body is the main part, being narrowed below to form the isthmus. Its cervix is about 1 inch long and has a supravaginal part and a vaginal part, portio vaginalis, that bulges into the vagina and is surrounded by the vaginal forces. The orifice of the cervical canal into the vagina is called the external os. The cavity of the uterus is very narrow, being flattened anterior posteriorly. It communicates with the cervical canal through the internal os. The wall of the uterus is very thick, consisting of three layers. The endometrium is the mucous membrane lining and it contains the uterine glands. The myometrium is formed of many smooth muscle fibers arranged in different directions. The perimetrium is the peritoneal covering of the uterus. These are the three layers of the uterus. Next, vagina. It is the birth and copulatory canal. Its anterior wall measures 7.5 centimeters and the posterior wall 9 centimeters long. The hymen in virgin closes its lower vestibular end. It has different morphological types: annular, septate, cerebriform, fleshy elastic, and umbilical. Oogenesis. This is the production or development of an ovum. In this oogenesis is the human female reproductive system growth process in which the primary cell or ovum becomes a mature ovum. These cells, known as the primary ova, remain dormant until just prior to ovulation, when an egg is released from the ovary. There are three phases of oogenesis, namely multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. In this oogenesis is the process of the formation of mature ova from the oogonia in females. It takes place in the ovaries. During oogenesis, a diploid oogonium or X mother cell increases in size and gets transformed into a diploid primary oocyte. This diploid primary oocyte undergoes first meiotic division, that is meiosis 1, or reductional division to form two unequal haploid cells. The smaller cell is known as the secondary oocyte. This secondary oocyte undergoes secondary meiotic division, that is meiosis 2, or equational division. First one is unequal and this is equal, and gives rise to a second polar body and an ovum. Hence, in the process of oogenesis, a diploid oogonium produces a single haploid ovum, while 2 or 3 polar bodies are produced. We can go with the phases. The first stage, multiplication phase. The primordial germinal cells divide repeatedly to form the oogonia. The oogonia multiply by the meiotic division and form the primary oocytes, which passes through the growth phase. The second phase is the growth phase. The growth phase of the oogenesis is comparatively longer than the growth phase of the spermatogenesis. In the growth phase, the size of the primary oocyte increases enormously. In the primary oocyte, large amount of fats and proteins become accumulated in the form of yolk, and due to its heavy weight, it is usually concentrated towards the lower portion of the egg, forming the vegetative pole. The cytoplasm of the oocyte becomes rich in RNA, DNA, and enzymes. Moreover, the mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, ribosomes become concentrated in the cytoplasm of the oocyte. During the growth phase, tremendous changes also occur in the nucleus of the primary oocyte. The nucleus becomes large due to the increased amount of the nucleoplasm and is called germinal vesicle. When the growth of the cytoplasm and nucleus of the primary oocyte is completed, it becomes ready for the maturation phase. The third phase is maturation phase. In this maturation phase is accompanied by the maturation or meiotic division. The maturation division of the primary oocyte differs greatly from the maturation division of the spermatocyte. Here, after the meiotic division of the nucleus, the cytoplasm of the oocyte divides unequally to form a single large-sized haploid egg and three small haploid polar bodies of podocytes at the end. This type of unequal division has to great significance for the egg. If the equal divisions of the primary oocyte might have been resulted, the stored food amount would have been distributed equally to the four daughter cells, and which might prove insufficient for the developing embryo. So, therefore, these unequal divisions allow one cell out of the four daughter cells to contain most of the cytoplasm and reserve food material which is sufficient to the development embryo. This is the flow chart of the oogenesis. The diploid one, first mitosis division, two diploid cells, meiosis 1, then second one is meiosis prophase, and then unequal division, first polar body, two second polar, and the secondary oocyte to mature ovum. We will see video regarding oogenesis. A small video, ma'am, regarding
the ovaries
oogenesis.
produce secondary oocytes, the female sex cells. During fetal development,
This is a secondary oocyte.
stem cells,
The from back to
oogonia,
the process is from
go
back
through
to front, ma'am.
mitosis. Some of these cells
The
develop
secondary
into
oocyte,
46
how it is formed, how the secondary oocyte is
primary
formed.
oocytes. At the onset of female puberty, tens of thousands of primary oocytes, each
Sorry for
forming part
inconvenience, the voice is
of a
not audible.
primordial follicle in the ovaries. Between menarche and menopause, each primordial
This is the
follicle
primary oocyte,
develops into a
first
mature
meiosis, second meiosis,
follicle,
oogonia.
and its primary oocyte completes meiosis 1.
This again undergoes second meiotic division and form one mature ovum and three polar bodies.
Some secondary oocyte. 23 chromosome cells that begin
This is unequal division, ma'am.
is 2. Then pause.
If equal division means the food supply is very
Each month
insufficient, so unequal division
Once
has to be important for the development of the
secondary
embryo.
oocyte is released into the uterine tube. Meiosis II is completed when the oocyte
The
is
second
fertilized.
meiotic division,
The
again three
resulting
polar bodies.
ovum can develop into a zygote.
One will become mature ovum and the remaining will be disappear. Then coming to female reproductive cycles. They are the periodic changes that occur once about every lunar month. Lunar month is nothing but 28 days in the female reproductive organs, ovary and uterus during the reproductive period from the puberty 11 to 14 years until the menopause 40 to 45 years. They include ovarian cycle and uterine cycle. Uterine cycle is nothing but the menstrual cycle. First we go with the ovarian cycle. It occurs in the cortex of the ovary. It has three phases: follicular phase, ovulation phase and luteal phase. The follicular phase in the first half of the cycle and the ovulation is about the middle of the cycle, and the luteal phase is in the second half of the cycle. First we go with the follicular phase. It entails maturation of the ovarian follicle and secretion of the estrogen hormone. Under the effect of the follicle stimulating hormone FSH secreted by the anterior pituitary gland, many primary ovarian follicles grow at the same time, but only one of them reaches full maturation into a Graafian follicle. The other follicles undergo atresia, atretic follicles. The developing Graafian follicle secretes estrogen in the liga folliculi. Estrogen is responsible for the proliferative phase of the uterine cycle. Ovarian cycle, ovulation phase, second phase. It is the process of rupture of the Graafian follicle and release of the mature ova from the ovary. It occurs once every lunar month, about 28 days during the fertile period of the human female. It does not occur during pregnancy. It sometimes occurs during lactation. The time of ovulation is variable, but it is usually on the 14th day of the ovarian cycle. The ovulation occurs at about 14 days plus or minus 1 day before the beginning of the next menstruation. The cause of the ovulation is attributed to inhibition of the follicular stimulating hormone and stimulation of the luteinizing hormone secretion by the anterior pituitary gland, leading to an increased salt concentration of the liquor folliculi, resulting in an increase in its osmotic pressure and a rupture of the Graafian follicle. Third phase is luteal phase. It entails formation of the corpus luteum and secretion of progesterone hormone. Following ovulation, the ovarian follicle passes into the following stages. First one is the corpus hemorrhagicum. After ovulation, the wall of the ovarian follicle collapses and becomes folded due to sudden release of the pressure inside it. Bleeding occurs inside the follicle with the formation of a blood clot. Corpus hemorrhagicum lasts for about 3 days before it changes into a corpus luteum. The corpus luteum. The ruptured follicle is gradually transformed into the corpus luteum. The granular cells enlarge, become a polyhedral and develop a yellowish carotenoid pigment, the lutein. Now the cells are termed the granulose luteal cells. At the same time, the theca internal cells undergo similar changes and become the caluteal cells. The capillaries grow among the luteal cells, allowing gradual absorption of the blood clot inside the follicle. The third phase is the luteal phase. The corpus luteum has the function of secreting progesterone and small amounts of estrogen. This yellow body has one of two fates. If there is no fertilization, it persists for 9 to 14 days. Corpus luteum of menstruation then rapidly degenerates to give rise to the corpus albicans, the fibrous body. If fertilization occurs, the corpus luteum persists for 4 months. Corpus luteum of pregnancy then slowly degenerates and its function is taken by the placenta. The persistence of the corpus luteum of pregnancy is induced by the chorionic gonadotropin, which is secreted by the placenta. Ovarian cycle. Hormonal control of the ovarian cycle. In the first half of the cycle, the anterior pituitary gland secretes follicle stimulating hormone that causes the maturation of the primary ovarian follicle to the mature Graafian follicle and consequently secretion of estrogen by the Graafian follicle. In the middle of the cycle, estrogen inhibits the follicular stimulating hormone secretion and stimulates the secretion of the luteinizing hormone and the luteotrophic hormone by the anterior pituitary gland, and both hormones cause ovulation. In the second half of the cycle, luteinizing hormone changes the corpus hemorrhagicum into corpus luteum The luteinizing hormone stimulates the corpus luteum to secrete progesterone and small amount of estrogen. Progesterone inhibits the production of luteinizing hormone and luteinotropic hormone, leading to regression of the corpus luteum. Decreased estrogen level stimulates follicular stimulating hormone secretion and a new cycle starts. This is ovarian cycle. Here we see the video of the ovarian cycle.
The ovarian cycle is the monthly sequence of events that takes place in the ovaries. The three phases of the ovarian cycle are the pre-ovulatory phase, the ovulatory phase, and the post-ovulatory phase. Prior to ovulation, primary follicles develop into secondary follicles. The number of follicular cells surrounding the primary oocyte increases. Estrogen secretions increase as well. During the pre-ovulatory phase, one of the secondary follicles develops into a single, dominant, mature, or Graafian follicle. The mature follicle continues to secrete estrogen, and estrogen blood levels peak. Luteinizing and follicle-stimulating hormones reach their peak. The primary oocyte has progressed through meiosis I and has begun meiosis II, stopping at metaphase II. It is now known as a secondary oocyte. The luteinizing hormone surge signals the mature follicle to rupture and release the secondary oocyte into the pelvic cavity. Secretion of estrogen decreases, thereby inhibiting the release of luteinizing hormone, stopping the ovulation of another secondary oocyte. After ovulation and the release of the secondary oocyte, the ruptured follicle collapses and becomes a corpus luteum. Stimulated by luteinizing hormone, the corpus luteum secretes progesterone and estrogen. This prepares the endometrium of the uterus for implantation. If the secondary oocyte is fertilized, the resulting embryo will implant into the prepared endometrium. If the secondary oocyte is not fertilized, it degenerates. The corpus luteum disintegrates, levels of ovarian hormones decrease, and the cycle starts again with gonadotropin-releasing hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone, triggering the maturation of follicles in the ovaries.
Thank you, ma'am. This is about the video presentation of the ovarian cycle. Next cycle is menstrual cycle. It occurs in the endometrium of the uterus depending on the hormonal changes that occur in the ovarian cycle. It has 4 phases: menstrual, regenerative, proliferative, and secretory phases. The cycle duration extends from the first day of one menstruation to the first day of the next menstruation. In most typical cycles, it is about 28 days, but it may normally vary from 21 to 40 days. The menstrual cycle, first phase is menstrual phase. Degeneration of the corpus luteum at the end of the ovarian luteal phase leads to a decreased level of progesterone and estrogen, with the result of a temporary spasm of the spiral arteries supplying the superficial two-thirds of the endometrium, and ischemia and necrosis of the endometrium and walls of the capillaries occur. When the spasm is released, blood escapes from the damaged capillaries and it flows with the necrosed endometrium. The source of the menstrual flow comes from the endometrium above the level of the cervix. The cervix and the uterine tubes do not share in the menstrual flow. The superficial layers, stratum compactum and stratum spongiosum, are the only parts of the endometrium that shed off. At the end of this phase, the endometrium is about 0.5 mm thick. The average duration of menstruation is 3 to 5 days. The menstrual flow is continued of epithelial cells, endometrial cells, and blood, which is about 50 to 60 cc in volume and does not clot due to the presence of proteolytic enzymes, destroying the proteins needed for coagulation of the blood. Variations of the menstrual phase include amenorrhea. Amenorrhea means no menstruation as in pregnancy. Menorrhagia, increased menstrual flow. Oligomenorrhea, decreased menstrual flow. And polymenorrhea, increased frequency of menstruation. Next phase is regenerative phase. From the 4th to the 6th day of the cycle, regeneration of the endometrium is carried out by the stratum basale. The epithelium of the fundi of the glands proliferates to complete the epithelial lining of the denuded mucous membrane. At the end of this phase, the epithelium reaches thickness of 2 mm and is flat. The endometrial glands are straight and narrow. The endometrium strongly contains lymphocytes and spindle-shaped connective tissues. Next phase, proliferative phase. It occurs from the 7th to 15th day of the cycle. It corresponds to the follicular phase of the ovarian cycle. It is under the control of estrogen secreted by the ovarian follicle and Graafian follicle. The endometrium proliferates, increases in thickness 4 mm and its lining is cuboidal. The uterine glands are straight, long and widely separated with no or little secretion. Last secretory phase. It occurs from the 16th to the 28th day of the cycle. It corresponds to the luteal phase of the ovarian cycle. It is under the control of progesterone secreted by the corpus luteum. The endometrium is thick 10 mm, soft velvet and is loaded with water. It is columnar and differentiated at the end of this phase into 3 strata. First one, stratum compactum. Superficially, it is a compact layer containing the necks of the uterine glands. Next, stratum spongiosum in the middle. It is a loose edematous layer containing the bodies of the uterine glands. Third one, stratum basale deeply. It is a thin basal layer containing the fundi of the uterine glands. It is responsible for regeneration of the shed endometrium. In this phase, the uterine glands are tortuous, spiral and loaded with the secretion which is rich in mucin and glycogen. The menstrual cycle video presentation.
Menstruation, also called having a period. As girls get older and their bodies change, they get their periods. The uterus is the part inside the body where a baby grows when a woman is pregnant. The inner lining of the uterus supports and nourishes the developing baby. If there is no baby, the lining is shed during her period. During a period, blood and other